Unless I smack your mama in the face, ain't no reason to be holding grudges against strangers. I have met so many people where they take loyalty to the extreme. And listen, loyalty is beautiful when it's necessary, but loyalty is also something that has to have discernment, right? You don't want to be loyal to the person who's going to take you to jail with them. You want to be loyal to the person who thinks ahead to not go to jail so that y'all don't get in trouble, or at least they keep it out of your life so that you don't have to deal with it, right? That's loyalty to me, not we gonna go down to the very end and don't you say nothing. Yeah, I guess, but like that to me is the extreme of loyalty. It shouldn't be something so negative that you need to know that I'm loyal to you. Loyalty and positivity is important as well, where it's like, listen, I don't know what's going on. I just know that I support you and I want to be there for you as best as I can. And that's another way to stay loyal to people. You don't have to ride or die for every single thing that somebody comes up with in their mind. Okay? That's silly to me. Also, it's important to remember you are your own person. If you meet someone, and let's say there is no attachment to this person at all. You just met someone, you think they're cool, you're vibing with them, you start hanging out as friends or romantic. Now, you might have an old friend that you hang out with once in a while, and then they come kick it with you, and they meet this new person. Turns out your friend dated this new person, and they don't like him. And now because you're like, well, this has been my friend longer, I can't like you now, and so now I have to discard you. That's weird. Why? Because I need to know what the disconnect was. If this is a person that has nothing to do with me, and I have nothing to do with y'all connection, you guys know each other from some other connection, but we get along, I, as the person who is meeting someone new, has the right to figure out who this person is on my own. Okay? This is where discernment comes in. A lot of people will decide that they don't like someone just because their friend doesn't like someone, right? We have a lot of things that we do to ourselves that make us feel our point is valid, and that's okay. But when you start deciding someone else's point for them, and then you start spreading gossip and malice and things that aren't true because you don't know how to resolve a conflict with someone, or you and that person couldn't resolve a conflict, now that person is deemed intolerable or a B or not nice or unkind or rude or think they're too good, and that's silly. And when people say who you surround yourself with tells you at what level you're vibrating. I say vibration just means at what level you're thinking, at what level you're feeling, at what level you know how to vibe with the energy and assert yourself properly, right? So if a situation pops up and my friend's like, I don't like that person, and I'm gonna be like, okay, was there any domestic violence? Was there any abuse? Was there any malice? No, I just don't like them because they think they better than me. Okay, that's not a reason for me to not like a person. And I'm just being honest. Now, you can come in and say, well, you're not a real friend. Listen, I'm not saying we'll kick it with that person, but I'm also not going to be mean or rude to that person just because my friend is not telling me the whole story, because there's two sides to every story. There's always two sides to that coin. And depending on the situation, it might be a valid reason why that friend doesn't like that person. But that's their situation. Again, I always say how someone emotionally decides they feel about someone is an emotional state. I'm not going to go there with them because it's not mine to own. Now, if it's a physical state, which means, again, this person is putting that person in danger or making them uncomfortable or harassing them or something, then yes, I don't like them either, and I will rock with the person who needs protection. Now, if it is someone who is just sitting there saying they don't like someone just because, and now they're just making drama and gossip and attitudes, that to me is going to make me question that friend, the old friend, more than I'm going to question the new person, because I'm the kind of person where I don't have the energy to sit around and talk about people, not in the way that people think they do, or not in the way that people think I would. I will have commentary or observational behavior and happenstance that you do in front of my eyes and other people. Yes, I will speak on that. But what I'm not going to do is go behind your back and talk about something I have no receipts on and I have no proof of. But because I just have a feeling that I don't like you because this person don't like you, that's not enough for me. And a lot of people run their friendships that way, and that's where trauma bonding comes in. And this is where people are like, why does everything feel so heavy? Or why does every time we come around, people got attitudes? Well, what's the energy that's around you? What is the energy that you're integrating into your life and your circle? What type of energy are you serving loyalty to, right? Because loyalty to me is not about taking on someone's burdens. Loyalty to me is about having that person's back emotionally as well as spiritually and logically. And then whatever they do with their physical body is their fucking choice. Because why? They're an adult and I can't stop that, right? That is up to them. But what I can do as a friend is try to talk sense to them, give them advice, hold space for them. What I'm not about to do is take on somebody's emotional baggage, emotional trauma, which looks like because I don't like them, you can't like them, and if you're their friend, then you can't be my friend. That's beyond high school to me. That doesn't even make sense to me. Like that level of like pick or choose is not okay, not as an adult. We got to grow out of that. That is not something that we want to perpetuate because this is, again, how we start to, let's make it a bigger picture. When we say, well, my voice doesn't matter. Well, when you decide to put your voice into a group of people who have no voice, but they have sound. They're just making noise. And because that noise is enough that it scares everything away, now they feel they have power, and the only thing they really have is physical power. And that is bullying, and it's intimidation, right? To me, that's not the type of group I need to be around or energy I need to be around. I need to be around individuals who use their voice so that collectively when they use their voice in a proper way and they're using their emotions and intellect in a proper way, now we have a movement, now we have a cause, and now everyone can see, yeah, this is more beneficial for the whole, and we can walk out into the world knowing that we're doing something better for ourselves and others. That's community, right? So even though it seems like a small thing, it becomes a bigger thing. When you have groups and cultures of people deciding they don't like someone just because of how they look and act and all this stuff, it gets very boring. The word I use for boring, you guys might say weird, somebody else might say silly. I say boring because we have seen every trope alive at this point. And the bully who picks on people because they're insecure is so boring. There's too many resources to be a bully at this point. There's too much out there to tell people who they are and help them guide them through this level of not knowing who they are so that they don't have to become an unknown thing that takes on any entity's energy and then replicate it into their daily life and say that that's their personality, attitude, mindset, whatever. Because that's what I see when I see someone saying, you have to like someone because I like them, or you can't like them because I don't like them. That's not healed to me, and I don't need to have people around me who are that unlevel of healed. Unhealed will always be a state of being for the human. We are always healing. It's a part of the process. But I would rather be healing and in a place of being healed from the past and knowing that if a new wound happens, I know how to cater to it versus leaving open wounds from the past, open wounds from the recent present, and then leaving those wounds open for more new wounds and then say, oh, look at my life and everything just happens to me this way. Do you see how it keeps happening to me? And I'm like, I see you holding the knife. So again, pay attention, be mindful to the energies that try to determine who you can be friends with or who you can be around based on their ability of comprehension and service recovery. You gotta know how to deal with your own crap before you come into any type of relationship. And if your whole friendship is based on what I like is what you should like, that's not gonna last. Anyways, love ya.